Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the welcome to the screening of the last shadow story of this channel. It actually consists of two shadow stories, and it's not as long as I'd hoped it would be. I thought it would be around a half hour. It's not that long, but hope you guys enjoy it anyway. I'll see you in the next video.
Legend has it, the film Insidious was inspired by a rhyming poem. A poem that teaches you how to enter the horrifically hellish world of the further. In the movie, the ritual is done. The protagonist sat down in a chair in a pendulum, while the paranormal expert of the film put him in a trance. It's pointed out in the movie that you need to be gifted with a certain talent in order for you to enter the further. That isn't particularly true. I've known people to have done it without the gift. All you need is to be relaxed. The further, as you may know, is an utterly terrifying place filled with anyone's worst fears. Sometimes it's referred to as your own personal hell. First, you'll need a candle, a chair, one or two people in the same room as you, a lighter, and possibly a mirror. First, get yourself comfortable. You'll need it. Since you'll be falling asleep, try to perform this ritual in the dead of night while everything is quiet. Place the chair anywhere. Wherever you place the chair, put the mirror directly in front of it. Set your candle next to you, either to the left or right, it doesn't matter. Light it. Don't let it go out. If a single step is done incorrectly, you will not be alive to see the sunrise. Place the pendulum in a place that is clear to hear. No more than a yard away should be fine. Now, fall asleep. This is one of the types of falling asleep that you have to make sure you're in complete control over your body. It could take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours for something to happen. Just be patient. And make sure you're calm and collected. That might make the experience slightly better. If you're sweating, scared, nervous, or anxious in any way, this will not work. If all goes well, and you start falling asleep in control of your body, you will feel a heavy sensation on your chest and you may not be able to move. That's a good thing. That means your body's undergoing sleep paralysis. You should start hearing strange noises, such as whispering sounds, air whistling by, maybe a few voices calling your name. Don't worry, this is normal. Once you're ready, open your eyes. Before you, everything looks the same, but there's something off about it. Something dark. You are now in the further, my friend. Pick up the candle you had lit earlier and continue onward. It's important that you don't dawdle, for if you do, they will start to sense your presence. As soon as the spirit from this realm senses you, they will step at nothing to take your body and use it as a vessel to live again. The air may seem slightly foggy, a bit chilly, and most definitely uninviting. Your journey through the further will not be pleasant. You have wandered into the spirit realm, a separate dimension in which all evil lives. The guardian is watching you. He sees your every move. He decides if he wants to use you as a vessel for the further. If he decides he wants you as a vessel, you'll be in great danger. You won't have much time to escape. You may escape by the skin of your teeth, but if you're too late, the guardian takes your mind and uses it as a punching bag, making you be going beyond insane. As you venture into the dark void, you start to see things. They appear as simple shadows, but as time goes on, they get more disturbing. You start to see small children crying or begging for help. They start cutting their wrists. You see some slitting their own throats. The children you see couldn't be older than 8 years old. They're not your imagination. They're real spirits, killed unrestfully and sent into the great beyond. You start to hear voices, small voices. You start seeing adult spirits, their face twisted and mangled and smiling the sickest way possible. There would be few with weapons following you, desiring to kill you. You cannot stop once you start the journey or your life will be over. At this point, the evil spirits and demons start to notice you. As you pass by, you feel their eyes following you on the back of your neck. They start following you. You need to start moving fast. They don't wait. As more and more spirits chase you, they start coming from all directions. They appear on your left, right, above you, and below you, and even in front of you. You start to get surrounded by the onslaught of evil that wants to dig their razor-sharp claws into every orifice in your body until you bleed. You break through the cloud, going to add a full-on sprint. Big mistake. You sprint for too long, but don't distance yourself much from the evil that had surrounded you. You pass out. You wake up in a simple office, with an office chair sitting across from you facing backwards. There are things on the ceiling of the office that resemble dolls. They look like dolls, but there was something about them, something wrong. The dolls were made of human and animal body parts. Every single one was naked. They are hanging from strings tied around their necks, and they all seem to be staring at you. Groggily, you don't exactly realize what's happening until you hear a small giggle that grows louder with each passing second. It sounded high-pitched and squeaky. You cringe and stand up, immediately looking for a place to escape. But it's too late. You wandered too far into the further, and the rat-faced demon caught and captured you. You don't know this, so you think you have hope. You have become a vessel for the ghosts and ghouls lost in the further. The rat-faced demon took your mind and will eternally torture you. You have no escape from this. The demon will play games with you, letting you believe you can escape, but that's not true. He will provide you with escape routes that will ultimately lead back to where you began, making you lose hope. For eternities on end, you won't give up on escaping, wondering what your family and friends will think of your mental disappearance. But don't worry. They're most likely dead. Your family and friends were the closest people to the monsters that came from your shell of a body, and killed them simply because they just could. This might be the end of humanity as well. My dear friend, they were just too late. The experts, that is. They succeeded in closing the vessel, but you're still trapped in here with me. There are too many out anyway. Your planet stood no chance. But there is good news. For me, that is. I get to play with you forever, and you have nothing to do about it. Think of it this way. This is your own personal hell, and you're being punished for all your crimes against humanity. But don't worry, you'll get used to it. You'll learn to accept it, because, friend, I'm your worst nightmare. Bad shot. The girl knew she had to do something. Her mother was being beaten by her own father. She looked around for a weapon. Down the hallway, she could see a gun on top of the high shelf in the closet. The girl made her way toward it, listening to the screaming of her mother from her bedroom. The girl grabbed the gun, standing on her tiptoes, and carefully, quietly, made her way to her mother's bedroom. Her hands were shaking, holding the loaded gun. Her heart beat faster and faster, adrenaline coursing through her veins. The girl had never held a gun in her life. The door loomed down the hallway she just turned onto. The screaming got louder as she approached. The girl slowly turns the knob and opened the door. The deafening screams were crystal clear now, and the girl saw her father holding her mother down on the bed while she kicked and squirmed. The girl cocked the gun. Shakily, she held up the gun and aimed. She squeezed the trigger. A shot rang out, and the screaming stopped. The girl opened her eyes to see the dead body of her mother and her father walking toward her. His face showed sorrow as he whispered to her, "It's too late. The Antichrist has been